What's up, all you rock stars? Hey, Yancey Culp here from Yancey Camp, coming at you today with a quick video to cover running mechanics. We're not going to solve all the running world's problems today, but I'm going to give you a few key pointers that I've learned over the years, many from my good friend Richard Diaz and his awesome wife Lori. Quick tips that can accomplish a lot in a short period of time. When we do the clinics, what I've learned is that a lot of people can learn things, in some cases just a few minutes, things that they can take home that are absolute game changers. Most people do not run correct. They've got major flaws in their running for many reasons. In many cases, it's their shoes. I'll talk a little more about that later on in the video. All right, I'm going to start with 4 letters: A, B, C, and D. Okay? What I want you to do is plug this into your program. Again, most of you are not running correctly right now. I know that to be a fact. So if you'll plug this into your program during your warm-up runs, let's say a 5-minute warm-up run, you're working on your ABCDs. Okay, and I'm going to explain that in greater detail here in a second. If you'll plug that in, over time, we will unwrap bad running mechanics and create that new running form. All right, so the A position is here. Actually, let me back up. Most of us, when we run, we overstride. If I took 1,000 of you and put you on video, this is what I would see. If I froze somewhere in this range, I would see a lot of this. Overstride, toe up. As you cycle through, you drive that heel into the ground. A lot of bad things are happening here. 1, we're stomping on the brakes, creating a very inefficient run. 2, my 165 pounds, you may weigh more or less. My 165 pounds is driving down into the ground as I stomp on the brakes, radiating up through this whole body, leading to a lot of the common injuries that we see out there. We also have a lot of unnecessary oscillation, up and down, vertical oscillation. Again, that's completely unnecessary. We can wipe out 50 to 75% of that. Okay, so again, I hit on a couple of the problems there that are caused when we overstride with that toe up in the air. What we're gonna learn how to do, one more big key thing with that, when we hit out here, we're also landing in a very unbalanced manner. So what we're going to learn with these A, B, C's, and D's is to hit more under our center of gravity. We can't hit completely under our center of gravity, but land on our forefoot under our center of gravity. You see the difference here versus here. Okay, very key point. If you're running terrible right now with that big overstride, driving that heel in the ground, I want you to slowly start working these mechanics in. I'll tell you more about the reason here in a little bit, but I want you to slowly work this in. You can't completely unwrap what you're doing now and just start doing this. If you're running 50 miles a week right now, you can't replace 50 miles a week with this right now. You got to start slow and build up. But what I'm about to show you, I want you to start working it into your program little by little. Start increasing the amount of time you're working this into your program, and we'll unwrap a lot of poor mechanics, and good things will come from that, I promise. Cutting down the oscillation, we'll stop overstriding, hitting under that center of gravity more, and a lot of those dang injuries will go away. All right, A position, it's nice and simple. It's right here. I'm landing on that forefoot, okay? The heel taps down, bam, bam, bam. Okay, that's A. This is B. This is C. Okay, that was ABC. I will literally start all my runs. I'll start walking in place in my A. I'll go to my B, and then I'll go to my C. Now, what is D? When you get comfortable with A, B, and C, D, I like to work D in as your motor skill development pace. How fast, and early on it's not going to be very fast, how fast can I run before my form goes back to, I revert back to that overstriding, driving that heel on the ground that was causing us so many problems. So early on, your D pace is going to be pretty slow, okay? If you're a 6-minute miler or a 20-minute 5K'er, you know, that pace maybe for the 6-minute miler, which is going to be an 18 to 19-minute 5K, you know, this might be a 10 to 11, 12-minute mile pace, okay, before your form goes to shit. So that's my D pace, my motor skill development pace. And that D pace is going to continue to get faster and faster as you start to run more efficient. When you start hitting on that forefoot more under your center of gravity, you're going to be burning less calories. Your heart rate's going to be able to come down at that old pace. Your heart rate was way up here at that old pace now. Once you develop these new mechanics, that heart rate's going to come down. Overall, you're running more efficiently. So ABC, the D pace is what I'm going to call motor skill development pace. That's maybe that 5-minute warm-up. It's 10-minute mile pace for you. Okay, you're going to run around in that D pace. All right, you're going to start out A. Here's A. You're going to go to B. You're going to go to C. And then D has you running at whatever that pace is that you can maintain good running mechanics. Again, once the mechanics go away, and you need to put yourself on video periodically to see if you're overstriding. Am I driving that heel into the ground? But that's going to be your D pace. So what's going to happen is, if you throw on too many miles, too much time on your feet with these new mechanics, if your form has been terrible, what's going to happen is you're going to turn on this posterior chain. It needs to be turned on. It was meant to be turned on. So if you overload too much early on, you're going to have some issues back in the posterior chain back here, from the gastroc all the way down through the Achilles and even the foot fascia. So again, A, B, C, D, I want you to work that in. Don't overdo it. You see me wearing a 0 drop shoe. If you're running in, a lot of people run in 10, 15 mil drop shoes. Over time, you're definitely going to want to bring that down to a low drop. I love everything 0 drop now because it's natural running. I'll talk a little bit about that real quick. If you want to prove what I've just shown you, why this is how we should be running versus this, forget everything I just told you. Go to a piece of pavement or a hard track, or maybe that basketball court back there. Run past your camera at your mile race pace with your shoes on. Take your shoes off, run past that camera, same pace. You're going to clean up most of your mechanics because your brain is very smart. It knows barefoot not to drive that heel into the ground. That's insane. You got to protect the body. So the body naturally lands on the forefoot, more into the center of gravity, without me telling you anything, without you learning anything from this video, or going to one of Rich and Lori's clinics where we've helped a lot of people. So that kind of proves the point. The shoe, in many cases, is allowing you to have this drastic overstride, slamming on the brakes, driving that heel on the ground with 165 pounds going into the ground. The shoe's allowing that. You take the shoe off, and without me telling you anything, you've cleaned up a lot of your mechanics, your form. So good stuff there. But again, that's kind of why you're going to want to get to more of a just a basic shoe. The Altras are great. I'm not promoting them. I don't make a penny from them. The Altras, the Topos, and whatnot, other low drop to 0 drop shoes will allow you to feel the ground, get some response from the ground. You don't need a ton of support when you're running with correct form. The body provides you with the support you need. The shoe is there to prevent you from cutting your skin, stepping on rocks and glass and roots and things that could damage your foot. It provides a layer of protection for you. That's what the shoe needs to be for. So one more time, A, B, and C. Making sure that foot is hitting more into the center of gravity. there's so much more to proper running mechanics. But that simple drill, if you'll do this simple drill every single day and slowly over time increase your mileage until this is the, you know, your D pace becomes your new race pace. You still work the ABCDs over time. You'll unwrap the bad habits. This will be the new. You'll be running better. The injuries will go away. A lot of the injuries will vaporize. You'll be running more efficient, and we'll be talking about this when we're 80 and 90 and still enjoy this wonderful thing we get to call running. We love it. We want you to be able to do it for the rest of your life, injury-free. Much love.